Muskies are a lot of fun and they get big, and I've seen a lot bigger than the ones I've caught already. You have to be prepared. Now, it's one thing when you're using a braided line that far exceeds your leader. Your knots don't have to be exact. If your knot is 70% of its breaking strength, it's still okay if you're using 50-pound braid and a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. But when I'm using a 130-pound test Seagar, an 80-pound braid, now my braid is the weakest connection, and so is that knot. And one of the best knots you can do with any braided line, I'm going to cut my swivel off, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. It's a Palomar knot. Palomar knot is so simple, you wouldn't think it should be as strong as it is, but it's one of the best knots for braided line. Double your line, insert through an overhand knot, just one loop, just an overhand loop. Now with that loop that's in your folded over line, drop your swivel through, or your lure, or your whole leader. Pop that through, grab the tag end and your main line, wet it, pull it tight, one, then the other. If it doesn't cinch up nice and tight, there it goes, you'll feel it pop, and you'll have a real nice tight little knot. Trim that tag end, and it's actually, when you think about it, you've doubled your line, so it's a really strong knot, and it's a real simple knot to do. Now, just so you can see it a little clearer what I'm doing, picture this is my line, picture this is my swivel or my leader. I've taken my line, I'm doubling it, I'm putting it through. Easier said than done with this thick rope. But there we go. Now you're just gonna take that, make an overhand loop like this, tuck it back through, and with that loop in your line right there, you're gonna put your swivel or your hook or whatever through. Make sure that loop is over the knot or over the end of your hook or your swivel, and you're gonna start pulling everything nice and tight. Now it's not, well, actually it did tighten up pretty nice even with this heavy stuff. There's a monster knot on a monster line, but even on that thick stuff, it's cinched up nice and tight. But on the actual swivel, you can see how nice and clean and tight that little knot is. And that way you've got the strongest knot possible on your braided line.